Hi and welcome back to Vampire. I hope that you are enjoying this game as much as I am because I'm quite positively addicted to it. It's quite I like the story aspect of this game quite a lot. So I'm really looking forward to this episode to play a little bit more of it. So we just came out of the investigation where we found the I forgot his name actually. We found the Setite. The Let's take a look at our character list here. We found Ellie Senseric, and now we are out to find potentially feeding detours, two of them, or we going back home to rest. So what's our chance now? I see that we have on our menu on the left here we have on our hunger, I guess it is, with the fangs, there's one kind of dashed line that's like filled. So it seems to me that we are a little bit hungry after we used disciplines in the previous fight when we helped the Setites. So we have two choices for our hunting. One is I can feel the beast clawing at my insides, hungry and restless. I should pounce at the first chance to quench my thirst, no matter who ends up getting the kiss. So going to the Unisphere, I guess. I'm not sure what the Unisphere is. I guess it's I think it's a globe somewhere in New York, if I remember correctly. I think it played a role in a previous game. And then we have here the feeding opportunity at Hunts Point Landing. The landing dock secluded enough to sneak in a quick bite. Fingers crossed I can dodge an IRL streamers. I've got the worst luck with those. I feel like the Unisphere might be a more interesting location, so let's make a quick stroll there. It's pretty slim pickings out here at this hour. I was kind of expecting a parade of dog walkers or whatever, but nope, just a few souls wandering in pairs or threes, be it for warmth, companionship, or safety. Well, what can you do? Anybody else in here willing to donate some blood to a poor, starving vampire? I'll promise I'll bite. There's this girl parked on a bench and mindlessly munching on a slice of cold pizza. Her eyes are large and vacant as she stares into nothing. And oh, she's rocking only one scuffed stiletto. Must have been one hell of a party. I'm not in the mood for a fucked up resonance, though, so I walk past her, noting where to find her just in case I change my mind. Yeah, vampires can get drunk and off high if they drink the blood of somebody who consumed. There's a guy with the huge headphones on doing some sort of a dance among the trees. He's just in a t-shirt and barefoot too, clearly on purpose as he steps through the snow in slow, steady motions. His body a unified wave from the soles of his feet to the top of his head. I totally go for him, but he's sort of close to the lanterns and main paths. That doesn't seem like somebody who could be easily dragged away without a fuss. Regretfully, I leave him behind. Come on. Just one easy to snatch mortal in the whole park. Is that too much to ask? Yeah, you walk away, sheeple. I hope you get fucking mugged. I groan, looking for the source of that bullshit. Not fucking way. You'll eat your words when Aaron Fletcher... For the love of... Are you kidding me now, Lady Luck? That asshole twice in the span of one night? That's right, you! Wait a minute! He looks at me and I wave at him, delighting in the way he twitches and takes a step back. His face first grows pale, then red as he starts boiling while pointing at me and screaming, You stupid bitch! You humiliated me for no fucking reason! How about I kick you in the car? Yeah, put you in your place to cheer off a crowd. You had nothing to do with all that. I roll my eyes and start to walk away. but he's a persistent little bugger. Don't you dare walk away when I'm talking to you. He starts trailing after me, hurling insults as we go. You spawn of the devil, satanic slut. Wow. First just a regular devil spawn. Now, satanic slut. That's a nice jump up in the hierarchy. You should be burned at the stake, hanged and quartered, drowned in a river. Meh, what a sad return to a pointless death threats. He keeps at it for a hot while, and I let him, even though there are so many moments when I just want to laugh in his face. I let him, cause while he's busy screaming at me, he isn't even aware that I'm leading him to a very conveniently secluded place. He doesn't notice until it's too late, and I turn to face him. For fornicating with the devil! He clamps up real fast, seeing my sweet little smile. What was that? Fornicating? I take a step closer, but terror roots him to the spot. Yes. With whom? The devil. One more step and... Oh, baby, it's much worse than that. I lunge at him, knocking him down like a ragdoll before he can even raise his arms to defend himself. I cover his mouth with one hand, tilting his head away, and I sink my fangs into his neck, drinking very curiously. The first punch that reaches my temple nearly knocks me off balance. Fuck, he really is all brawn and no brains. I quickly regain my footing, dismantle his guard, and latch onto his neck once more. He tries to fight back. He really does. He screams, flails around, hits me with steadily weakening punches all over. Fruitlessly. It's not exactly a pleasant feeding, but the taste of his blood more than makes up for the slight inconvenience. Thick, almost syrupy, chock full of caffeine, sugar, and that awful tingle of an off-shelf protein powder. I drink more than necessary, reveling in the sensation, sating my hunger, my instinct beastly, unfitting and unliving, unbreathing, unhuman being. I keep going, even longer after he stopped punching, resorting to weakly pawing at my back when he lies completely limp on the snow. Its whiteness marred with a few small drops of crimson. I finally managed to come to my senses and detach myself from his neck, wiping my mouth with a bit of snow and my sleeve. The wacko looks like a corpse, but he's still breathing. With a little bit of luck, someone's gonna find him and wake him up before Christmas snow claims his ass. But that someone ain't gonna be me. Dawn is coming. I need to find myself a haven. Or, perhaps, witch's cottage. So, wherever you go, let's do a quick math. Deadly sunlight plus my clan's particularities equals a new spot to keep me from getting dusted. I just hope it's better than the last one, but honestly, with the chaos that keeps unfolding, any hideout will do. The apartment I scored thanks to the signs of our crew, wonder who's left in there, Reynard, Jess, is thankfully much better than the dump I had to crash in back in the Bronx. It's clean, spacious, and sunproofed, so at least I won't fry crisp while daydreaming. Not exactly my cozy RV, but hey, in a couple of nights I could get used to it. If it weren't for the damn near certainty that I'll turn into a pile of ash come sunset, that is. Lying in this queen-sized bed, hands laced behind my head, waiting for sleep to hit, My mind can't help but spiral around the shitstorm of the past few nights. Turns out there's more I don't know about Reynard than I do about Pedrick. Or Parik. And I've been Reynard's child for almost 2 frickin' years. My embrace, that's not a trip down memory lane I enjoy. Not just because it felt like getting ripped apart, but because it caught me off guard. It wasn't one of those poor sots. I wasn't one of those poor sots whose entire existence revolves around becoming kindred, who slaved away as ghouls for decades, if not centuries, just for a chance of that one final kiss. In truth, I had no desire or purpose back then. Just drifting through life, much like these nights, following impulses. Hit up that city. Scratch that. Head to that other one. Swipe from that dude here. Scam that lady over there. Put on a show. Disappear. Live. I caught Reynard's eye at a musical festival. I was raking in some serious cash, pulling off sleight of hand, hustling the clueless out of their money. Rich kids were everywhere, dripping with cash and confidence, making my job a damn breathe. Just one day I made enough to cover my tickets 3 times over. It lasted until Reynard came along and decided to take me down a notch, exposing all my tricks, gambling off me my hard-earned money, humiliating me in front of my cash cows. And then had the nerve to promise me some bright, shiny future with his gang. I told him to go to hell, obviously. I've had it up to here with assholes and had zero interest in joining a gang. Cruising along through the states suited me just fine, or so I thought. Been years since I convinced myself that being alone meant freedom. But soon enough, whether I liked it or not, I learned a whole new meaning of freedom, one that went way beyond just being lonely. Because that very same night, Reynard spotted me in the crowd and decided to embrace me, right under everyone's noses. No one even batted a freaking eye as he hauled my dying ass out of that festival. Man, I'm in a rotten mood today, ain't I? Gotta remind myself it's not all that bad. Those last 2 years with Reynard's coterie were better than a big chunk of my life. Turns out that being a part of that tightly knit group, a found family he calls it, can be pretty damn sweet. Not so much when the leader turns out to be a lying, dodging snake, though. That the recent bombshell, that merchandise not reaching the buyer, the sudden antediluvian obsession, and being at the very top of the circulatory system's hit list. God damn it, Reynard Cassell. What the hell did you get yourself into? Meanwhile, slow night, boss. He clearly detests when I call him that, but can't help tossing in his way every now and then. Who knows? Maybe light up some of that old buddy vibe we lost along the way. Not that I'm dying for it, it's just he turns into a total snorefest once he flips in that professional switch. Meanwhile, the Callahan case, handling it the way I did, I knew it wouldn't exactly endear me to him. Turns out it might have cut him deeper than I ever thought it would. How many this time? Another 2, a Duskborn and one of Ailing's fledglings. The way they were found, their last moments were far from pleasant, to say the least. This is absurd. We're sequestered here like a bunch of idiots, struggling to find common ground, pretending we have this mess under control. Can't let this continue, you know. You know that. We have to crush this mob, snap their pitchforks in the smother the torches before everything spirals out of control. I mean, you're the sheriff. By my book, that's your shot to call. You've got plenty of backup in here. Honestly, I don't know what's holding you back. That's our fundamental difference. Unlike you, I still have a modicum of respect for the rules, even when they bind my duties to the choices of fools. Language! Yikes. Hit with that fiery glare again. I need to work on my timing. And he needs to sort out his anger issues. Do you mind if I intrude in this delightful conversation? Jesus. I hate when she pulls the cashier cat shit popping out of thin air like that. What is it, Valerie? We might just have identified the mastermind behind your hunter locust, as you aptly coined it. Just a glimpse at the file she handed Kadir has me reeling. Him? Seriously? Positive? But then, piercing it together, it obviously makes sense. The locust would only rally under a supremely charismatic asshole. There's no asshole quite as magnetic as Aaron Fletcher. Interesting. I'm just interested. Do we have something on him? No. There's no Fletcher that we can look. We have Fritra. She's one of the autarkies at Simisi. Little is known about the Simisi bitch, as Ellie Senseric calls her, betrayed beyond her relentless claims over the Hudson River, which she took as her domain shortly after arriving in New York City a year prior. Both her past in the old world and her present machinations, ever disruptive to the Sikh sects of New York, are shrouded in mystery, and nobody who ventured into the heart of her domain uninvited has ever returned to tell the tale. Fascinating. So we shall sleep. I hopped out of Patrick's car on the edge of the Morningside Park, and he's There's again a little bug. So, give me a little pause. It seems like when we advance time, there seems to be bugs in this game, so let me just restart it, as I did last time. So, restart it. Let's see, do you wish to end the night? Yes, now it works. Night 4. December. 4 nights till New Year. But I don't think we have 4 nights until we had to deliver to the Camarilla. I think it was a little bit less than that even. The concept of sleep completely changes when you become one of us. You don't really get gently lulled by the warmth of Morpheus' embrace, more like tossed into darkness, depthless waters where the cold suffocates you till you can't feel anything. Waking up doesn't exactly leave you rested, but it's not quite exhaustion either. It's more like a narrow escape from some fathomless and terrible threat, which doesn't it all explain why I feel so fucking exhausted as I make my way to Pedrick's, tuning out the lively chaos of New York Street on a chilly December night. Even the city's festive lights, scattered among the grey urban landscape, can't lift my spirits, and neither can the delicate glimmer of the snow. Do vampires ever suffer from seasonal depression? Because it sure as hell feels like I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel here. Patrick's managed to blend in seamlessly with the scenery, yet I spot him from a block away, near his haven. Uncharacteristically, both his hands are buried in his pockets instead of fumbling with that lifeline ring of his. His head is bowed, eyes aimlessly fixed on the pavement as usual. Let's make it weird, why not? Hey! What's a kindred like you doing in a place like this? His expression shifts to a wry smile. Oh, this old place. It's just where I hang out. I was actually waiting for you. I jokingly fan myself with my hand. Wow, it's getting hot in here, or maybe it's just a topic. How about we switch gears? Tell me, what's the forecast with Kaiser tonight? Well, to be perfectly frank, expect a cold front of hostility. I roll my eyes. Fantastic! Another enemy is just what I needed here. It's not quite like that. To put it plainly, Kaiser's presence is nothing short of repulsive. I've yet to encounter kindred as inherently distasteful as him. Yet I must implore you, bite your tongue. If we want to get the answers, we have to suffer through the insufferable, I'm afraid. Well, I can't make any solid promises, I mean. I'll give it a shot, but we both know how that's likely to turn out. Maybe it's best if you handle the talking? Observing would be my preference. But I think we can manage. We share a somewhat charged silence for a brief moment before I can't resist the urge to disrupt it. What do you reckon Kaiser will want from us in return? Before I can pierce together my worries into words, a monstrous, opulent limousine screeches to a halt beside us, its tires crying against the curb. Pedrick stiffens, braces himself, and gives me a nod of resolve just as the limousine's door bursts open and a lanky guy steps out. He looks kinda sickly and definitely dodgy. My hand automatically moves to discreetly shield my belt bag from him. Come on in, the boss is waiting. I thought I was ready for anything after Pedrick's warning and all the nasty rumors about Kaiser, but man, I was totally off. That Nosferatu infobroker's face was even more hideous than I could have imagined. And the limo? Far from the swanky, intimidating vibe I expected. Instead, it was like a tech paradise inside, completely with top-tier peripherals, touchpads, laptops, phones, and tablets. It felt so much like my own geeky haven that I literally had to sit on my hands to stop myself from touching anything. I was so caught up in the cool gadget that I totally spaced on Patrick's warning about Kaiser's mean streak. So when his grating, nasally voice cut through the hum of the engine, I nearly jumped out of my skin. Listen up, you fuckwits. Time is money, and you clearly broke my shit. Spill it now or piss off out of my ride. Oh, hell no. Who the fuck do you think you are, asshole? How about I piss all over your ride instead? Might have lost my cool a bit there. I don't even need to look at Patrick's to know he's probably about to facepalm in frustration. But I'm not backing down that easily. Kaiser just scruffs and glares at me, giving me the silent treatment for what feels like forever. Look at that! This one got some grit in her fangs. Reminds me of someone I really don't fucking like. His hand moves his leg and he clenches it so tightly his knuckles dance under his awful skin. Interesting. Alright, let's cut to the crap. Conroy tells me you're itching to dig into the circulatory system's database because that fucker Cassell screwed the pooch big time. I shoot a glance at Patrick, a touch surprised. I hadn't exactly pictured what setting up a meeting would entail, but definitely didn't expect him to let Kaiser score all this free intel. Patrick's knitted brow suggests Kaiser might have snagged some secrets on the sly too. So yeah, he called him fucker Cassell, so definitely he also has some open things with him. I don't trust him though. Something like that, yeah. You on board? Kaiser flashes me a grin with those shark-like teeth, and I can't tell if he's amused or threatening, so I just put on my best tough girl face. I might just spare you assholes from getting screwed. The jury's still out on that, but you dimwits can follow simple fucking instructions. We might make all out like bandits from this deal. Especially me, capiche? All I can do is clench my jaw and nod, resisting the urge to knock out all those purely sharps of his. Thankfully, at that moment, Patrick seems to remember that he was the one who was supposed to be talking. So, judging by all that hard talk, I assume you have some plan up your sleeve, Kaiser. Watch your fucking mouth, Conroy, and sip it! You're in my space now! I'm dying to throw some snark his way, but I choke back the urge. Patrick's stern glare definitely plays a part in that. Here's the deal. I set up a meeting in the main office at the circulatory system, posing as a high-rolling venture, autarkies, looking to dump some cash in their spit. Now, name? What? What exactly do you call this, autarkies? Didn't I just tell you the fuck your trap? The quicker I'm done, the faster you fucker stop stinking up my car. Maybe if you spill the beans now, I would need to drill you with more questions later, yeah? Carly's on point, Kaiser. We need the nitty-gritty, every last detail. If we're to pull this off, you need to be thorough. The name's Mr. Tiburon, you twats. Satisfied? That's more like it. Go on. Unbelievable. Now the autarkies, Mr. Tiburon, ain't about to mingle with the lowlifes himself, so he's sending his goons. That's you morons, to handle the big fucking deal on his behalf. Those blue blood assholes are so hungry for a buck, they jumped at the chance from the get-go. That's your ticket into their fortress. Out of nowhere, he rips out 2 ID cards and flicks them over to us like it's no big deal. Clinging to mine is a note, slapped on with a sticky mess of glue, sporting an address in Staten Island written in a hand so sloppy it's practically criminal. This here is your golden fucking key to swing through that dump. Lose it and you're fucked. Capiche? Capiche. What you do next is on you. You'll find the database in the labs. Any CCTV? What about cameras? That place must be crawling with them. Screw the cameras. Either way, you fucks better plan your exit from NYC. Sharpish. It's for you, Conroy. You scrape something together. Patrick answers with a slight grimace. Maybe you'll be slithering back begging for my help. I might find you something. For a hefty fee, of course. That will definitely not be necessary. Thanks for the concern, though. And for the passes. Just then, the limo swears dramatically to the right and screeches to a halt on the sidewalk. The sound of honking cars fills the air. Deal's sealed. Now get the hell out. I've got real business to handle. In the ensuing chaos, we scramble out of the limo under the harsh glare of streetlights and the urgent tone of Kaiser's farewell echoing behind us. I'll be at the spot on the note. Don't screw this up, or else. Patrick and I stand motionless, caught in an odd sort of limbo, watching as Kaiser's limo dodges through traffic, disappearing around a corner, and slips out of sight. Well, that could have gone way worse, right? We extracted more from that meeting than just invectives. Invectives? I would say it went quite well. So, this batshit crazy plan, we're actually gonna break into the circulatory system and jack their data. I mean, it's right up my alley, but yeah, the plan is utterly mad. Yet it seems we have no other option. Patrick appears eerily composed, as if the prospect of being caught in the act at the circulatory system hadn't crossed his mind, but I can tell he's thought it through thoroughly, probably stressed to the point of zen. I chewed my lip, pondering. Would I want to go alone? It's an interesting question. I mean, I'm the talkative person. I like to have him at my back. He seems like a pretty good person to clear things up for me. I think happy thoughts. Right, no overthinking. We go in and you do the talky talk. I do the steely. Badabbling, badoom, done and dusted. It sounds like a plan, yes. Any objections? Well, no, good. Let's hit it. My mood shifts dramatically as soon as we buckle up in Patrick's car and take off towards our goal. I feel almost numb, the way my brain buzzes with uncoordinated thoughts, like a giant, incomprehensible beehive. Out of the corner of my eye, I catch Patrick throwing concerned glances my way before he decides to break the silence. Is everything okay? Yeah. It's just that, I might not know Reynard as well as I thought I did. The circulatory system, the antediluvian, some enigmatic, powerful backer. I'm not even sure who he is anymore, and it's not like I can just ask him right now. Patrick absorbs my words, mulling over the thought in a heavy silence. I get it. It's really unsettling to realize you don't truly know someone you thought you were close to. Guess the ticking clock isn't making things any easier, huh? It fucking doesn't, but cheers for the reminder. My apologies, I wasn't trying to add to your stress. Yeah, I get it. But hey. I playfully smack his shoulder, forcing a smile through the strain. At least you won't be stuck with me much longer, right? His attention snaps from the road to me. His look one of unexpected irritation. You know, I take no joy in the thought of hauling you before the Primogen Council, should we fail to capture Reynard. I swiftly turn my head away and look out the window. Well, I do now. But what we will do with that infiltration will be next time. Thank you for watching. See you then.